what's happening, everybody? Welcome on in. It's Mr. Kern again with another Photoshop tutorial. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be learning about Liquify and face morphing and learning how to put all that together into something nonsense that you show your parents or whatever, and they go, "What did you just do?" Anyway, let's learn how to make nightmare fuel. Come along with me. So what you see on your screen here, this is kind of a example of what kind of nonsense you can get up to with this. But what we're going to do, you've already downloaded assets in Google Classroom. What we're going to do is we're going to open up one of those photos. I would like you to open up the photo of Justin Bieber because there's nothing better than making fun of the Biebs. So we're going to open up this photo here. Here we go. So the first thing we're going to learn about is we're going to learn about Liquify tools. Okay, and what Liquify tools do is they allow you to enlarge things or shrink things down or twist things around. But Photoshop is excellent with Liquify tools. So just for fun, what we're going to do, we're going to first copy this first layer here. Okay, so if you right click it, you can hit duplicate layer. That allows us to have, I'm going to call it Biebs Orig. There we go. We got Biebs Original. I'm going to put that. I'm going to unlock this one. I'm going to put Biebs Original below. And we're going to be dealing with this one. I'm going to rename this one Biebs Crazy. There we go. Biebs Crazy. We're going to be working on that Biebs Crazy layer. All right. So here we go. We're going to get into it. So I want you to click on that layer. And we're going to go up to Filter, and we're going to go to Liquify. You'll find it right here. I'm going to click Liquify. Okay. Liquify is kind of its own thing, so it opens up its own window here. I'm going to move my face down here so I can actually look at all these tools here. So over here on the left-hand side, we have a couple different tools here. Okay, this is where we normally find our toolbar. The first one is called Forward Warp. Okay, now Forward Warp, what that allows us to do is we can click and move our mouse, and it allows us to kind of push things in a specific direction. Okay, so you can see, obviously, you can get up to some fun here. You're basically clicking and stretching things in a direction. All right. Beautiful. All right. The next one is Reconstruct tool. This basically brings everything back. So after we use each of these tools, we're going to bring everything back just so you can see exactly what it does. And then, of course, you'll have some time to mess around with this and do some crazy stuff. The next one down is the Smooth tool. Again, that brings things back just slightly. But we're going to mess around with these ones. This is where the fun happens. So the first one is Twirl Clockwise. Okay. You can probably guess what that does. Again, you can change the size of your brush. To quickly change the size of your brush, if you just hold down Alt on your keyboard, hold down the right button on your mouse, and then slide your mouse to the right to make it bigger, or to the left to make it smaller. Okay. Or you can find those brush tools over here too. But just for the sake of quickness, I'm going to use that shortcut. And then obviously, if you click and hold, it twirls things around. Now, as with most things in Photoshop, if you hold down Alt, it goes the opposite direction. Okay. So twirl clockwise. There you go. And the longer you hold, the more it turns. That's a good look, Biebs. All right, I'm going to go back to my Reconstruct tool. And I'm going to give myself a larger brush and quickly snap everything back. Again, I'm just holding down and just kind of pasting over, or just painting over everything. Next one is called the Pucker tool. All right, you can probably guess what this does. It makes things a little bit smaller. So again, I'm going to give myself a larger brush. Oh, and I like to do this one on eyes. And again, just holding down that button makes things go in even further. This is a good time. There you go. And once again, Reconstruct, bring it all back. Next one down is our bloat tool, you probably already guessed what that does. Makes things a little bit larger. So again, we can do that on the eyes. Again, holding down the button has it continue. Now, as you can see, the further that you go with it, like for just a couple things here and there, it works really well. I can just Control Z everything back. For a couple clicks, like it works really well. It's pretty seamless. But the more that you go to it, like the more blown out those pixels get, to the point where you just have a flat color there. And that's not really working for us. All right, so I'm gonna undo those. Oh, I undid too far. Next one is the push left tool. This is very similar to that warp forward tool. Again, we're just clicking things and we can actually just push things down, okay? It's pretty similar. It just basically displaces objects, okay? And you can go underneath things and push them up. So if you go to the right, it pushes things up. If you go to the left, it pushes things down. Kind of crazy. Again, undo the heck out of this. Reconstruct works a little bit quicker. Okay. You have other things in here too. You have freeze mask and thaw mask. I'll show you what that does here real quick. So let's say, for example, I'm going to do, just for fun, I'm going to twirl the eyes here. There we go. And let's say I really like this. Okay. I don't want to move this. Okay. So I'm going to do freeze mask and I paint over this. So this allows me to basically mess with all the other things and it won't mess with that area. Okay, it's locking that into place. It's kind of interesting to move everything else and leave certain objects the way exactly they are. Okay, and then obviously thaw mask. Do that. There we go. Only move things within that mask. So it still keeps that in place. Okay? Thaw mask gets rid of your masks, so you're all good there. Okay? So I'm going to undo everything. I'm going to reconstruct it all, and I want to show you kind of an interesting part of that Photoshop has put together. Make sure it's all good. I want to thaw all my masks. I see one there. Okay, perfect. All good. Okay? Now, on the right-hand side here, you see a lot of sliders, okay? Now, the way that I like to describe this is if you've ever played a video game where you've created a character and it has those things in it where you have these sliders and you can make choices on how your character looks with those sliders. Like make their mouth big or small, or make them smile or not, or give them a big nose, or anything like that. Basically, that's what this does here, this face-aware liquify. If you don't see it, if you just see this, just make sure that arrow's clicking down. And so we have a lot of options here. So you can do eye size. We can slide these together, and it changes one eye. So this one controls the left eye. If you want to control both eyes at the same time, you just need to click this little link in between here. And so if you move one, it moves the other. Okay, and you can see you can move both eyes at the same time. Okay, I'm gonna mess with these. We're gonna go negative 100 because why the heck not? Again, I'm going to link these together. Eye height. Okay, you can do that. Eye width. We're gonna go small. Eye tilt. Again, moving them from side to side. Okay, eye distance. This is where you have some fun with it. Nose height, nose width, smile. Smile's creepy, to be honest. I love smile because you just mess with it like, huh? You thought my joke was funny, or wah, frowny face. Yeah, it's kind of creepy how like seamless that is. So anyway, you can mess with that. Upper lip to the right makes it fuller, to the left makes it thinner. Lower lip to the left makes it fuller, to the right makes it thinner. Okay, mouth width, mouth height. Forehead gets fun. giant forehead here. Chin height. We're gonna give him a full chin here. Fill out that jawline. I think it's got a little fatter there. Okay. And then you have these mesh options where basically if you plan on doing the same edit to other faces later on, you can save these exact settings and then you can apply them to any other face that you like as well. So there you go. That's what we're looking at. If you want to actually see it, let's show mesh. So you can see it creates a grid, and then all of our changes there have edited that grid. Anyway, I'm going to hit OK. So we can see what we've done. That's what we've done. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, I want to do that same exact edit again. I want to just basically add on to it. If you wanted to, you could go back into filter and go to Liquify and do the same thing again and get more exaggerated features. So this is basically our starting point now. Now, if I go back to it and I do the same thing, we get even more exaggerated. Okay. Or you just go up to filter in your top menu. If you just click Liquify here, it applies all those changes that you just made. In fact, I think it's just about to, it's just gonna make those fake eye changes. I'm gonna undo a couple times. See if it does all the changes. Oh, we're stuck on that eye. Yep. All right, I'm gonna undo that. There we go. So if you wanted to, you could exaggerate your changes by hitting Liquify a couple times, but there you go. That's some fun there. So go ahead and play around with that for a little bit. I guarantee that you want to. It's a good time. It's a laugher. So play around with that, and then we'll come on back and do some face replace, some face morphing with our next tutorial. All right, we'll see you around. Take care, guys.